Alexandra Trusova admitted that she leaves dresses from old programs as a memory, and also talked about her personality type. "I leave dresses from old programs, it's a memory. They are stored in the house, outside the city. Maybe not in the apartment, but in the country, yes. Am I an introvert or an extrovert? I can't refer myself to either one type or the other, because I like to communicate with people very much. That is, if I have to choose between being alone or socializing with some company, I will choose the company. Especially if these people are pleasant to me, I feel good with them, then I will communicate with them. But I can't say that it's easy for me to talk to everybody. There is no such thing that I come to an unfamiliar place where there are a lot of people I don't know, I will go up and talk to them as friends. There's no such thing either. I'm shy to approach. Only if I know someone, I can approach them. Very often, I do things, under the pressure of emotions. It is clear that there are some well-considered ones, but there are a lot of times when I do something on emotion. Do I regret emotional impulses? I do, but not often, Trusova said. Alexandra Trusova told about her favorite nicknames. Of course, the nickname Queen of the Quads is my favorite. Fans ask me what nicknames I like, and they only use the ones they like. I haven't had any that use ones I don't like. Favorite nicknames are Russian Rocket and Queen of the Quads. What would you say to your past self? Maybe, would, give some advice that I realized already after everything happened. What superpower would you like to get? Teleport. I generally think that a lot of time is spent traveling, even just in Moscow. And so you could have a lot of things to do if you had a teleport. To the Maldives on weekends, Dubai every weekend, Trusova said. Figure skating coaches were banned from accepting into their groups, as well as providing professional support to figure skater Valery Angelopoulos. This is reported by RIA Novosti Sport with reference to several unrelated sources. According to the interlocutor of RIA Novosti Sport, Angelopol would like to continue his career and find a partner, but the FFKKR leaders do not support him in this endeavor. The skater is not allowed on any rink to any coach to keep in shape, and all attempts of Angelopol to contact the general director of the FFKKR Alexander Kogan were unsuccessful. Recall, skaters Vasilisa Kaganovskaya and Valery Angelopol stopped joint training in August 2023. Later it became known that Kaganovskaya got into a pair with Maxim Nekrasov, and Angelopol left the training group. Director General of the Russian Figure Skating Federation, FFKKR, Alexander Kogan denied the information that appeared earlier that coaches were forbidden to accept figure skater Valery Angelopol in their groups. According to a number of sources, Angelopol is not allowed to join any coach to keep in shape, and the athlete's attempts to contact Alexander Kogan have been unsuccessful. It's silly. And Angelopol did not contact me, Alexander Kogan told Match TV. Valery Angelopol responded to a question about the existence of a ban on coaches working with him. A short conversation with the figure skater leads Match TV. Does the information about the ban from the FFCCR on coaches working with you correspond to reality? Partly. Explain? I said everything I wanted to say. Tatiana Tarasova, honored coach of the USSR, reacted to the information that Valery Angelopol after the scandalous breakup of the dance duet with Vasilisa Kaganovskaya became undesirable for all coaches. Were you familiar with this Valery before this incident? Have you seen him skating? About whom are you calling? It's just ridiculous who you're calling about. He left the girl. He left the coach who works on this ice. You don't just come on the ice to skate. You gotta be in a group. You gotta be with the coach, you gotta practice with the coach. It's not like Angelopoulos or some other idiot comes in and says he's gonna skate. Why would he? He's gone. We have, like the rest of the world, 2 hours at all the rinks. You show up, you pay money for the ice. You get a ticket, you get out and you skate. And nobody says anything to you. That's the rule. It's the rule of the world. Angelopoulos is a stupid boy, I guess. Doesn't know anything. He left, but he doesn't know how to go on, Tarasova said. Valery Angelopol's career is quickly going downhill. Let's look back at the key events of the last few months. The duo of Vasilisa Kaganovskaya and Valery Angelopoulos was considered one of the most talented in the world, and their success was noted by both domestic and foreign experts. In the previous season, this duo won the Grand Prix final. In August, this duo broke up due to conflicts between the partners. Previously, misunderstandings had arisen, but they were able to be resolved. However, when Angelopol offered Kaganovskaya a contract, it became clear that cooperation will no longer continue. Valery refused to comment, explaining that he did not want to wash dirty linen in publicity, but stated that he was going to continue to perform. Ekaterina Bobrova later reported that the figure skater had already found himself a new partner, but he was having trouble finding a coach. At the time, perhaps few people paid attention to this information, but today RIA Novosti stunned the figure skating community with the surprising news. After the release of Davis to Smolkin and the rejection of the endeavor by Dario Sarizano, one should no longer be surprised by the federation's decisions. Despite the personal traits of Angelopoulos, the federation should consider him solely as an athlete. And for an athlete, the most important thing is to perform. After the events of last year, Russian officials and experts constantly claim that figure skaters are not guilty of anything, let them compete, and criticize the ban on Russian athletes. And now they're suspending Valery Angelopoulos. Or is that a different story altogether? Elena Tchaikovskaya says, "When you catch some nonsense somewhere, don't call me. I don't comment on such things." Recall that the same reaction was seen in the spring when Davis and Smolkin left. Elena Radionova believes that men's figure skating is now more interesting than women's figure skating. I, by the way, already said a few years ago, wait, boys are growing up, we will have a cool generation of singles. Because it really is cool. We have, well, how many? 8 to 10 people really quietly. If we now go to international starts, we could fight for prizes. Yes, sometimes there are questions with stability, but they are all cool, they jump, they skate, they are watchable. Realistically, we have a national team of beauties, great guys. That's why I think men's singles is even more interesting to watch now than women's singles. No offense to the girls, but the competition is clearly more serious for men now, said Elena Radionova, bronze medalist at the 2015 World Championships.